If you look on the SBA website, you're going to say, okay, this loan is not forgivable.
Of course.
So forgiveness is not the correct, I guess, term we should be using.
এরকম যারা লোন নিয়েছেন এবং আপনার ব্যবসায় দিয়েছেন, ব্যবসাটা হয়নি, মার গেছে টাকাটি, অর্থটি, যে লোনটি নিয়েছিলেন, আপনার জন্য সুসংবাদ অপেক্ষা করছে।
It's a direct negotiating with the SBA. It's not a form.
Anybody who's going through hardship, they can knock down 10% of the payment up to, not knock down 10%, but they can reduce their payment up to 10%. eidl লোন মওকুফের একটি উপায় নিয়ে কাজ করছেন মাইকেল মোতাজেদি। এটি এখনো কনফার্ম হয়নি, যেই মুহূর্তে এটা উনি কনফার্ম করে ফেলতে পারবেন আমরা আপনাদেরকে জানাবো, এবং অনেকেই এই সুযোগটি নিতে পারেন। দেয়ার আর রিকোয়ারমেন্টস, সেটি ফুলফিল করতে হবে, বাট দিস ইজ আ ভেরি ভেরি গুড নিউজ। অত্যন্ত ভালো খবর সবার জন্য যারা দেখছেন। At the same time, I mean, there are some misunderstanding about this and this eidl updates.
Correct.
And there are a lot of misleading information in the market. Could you tell me a little bit about that before we move on?
Yeah, sure. It's not a. If you look on the SBA website, you're going to say, okay, this loan is not forgivable.
Of course.
So forgiveness is not the correct, I guess, term we should be using.
Yeah. So
we should be using compromise.
Compromise.
Okay.
So it's not a
They
forgiveness.
want to see where you spent your money. You know, it's not like, hey, I decided to go in Robinhood.
Correct.
I lost my shirt. Can I not pay it back?
Okay.
The answer is, of course, you still have to pay it back.
All right. So one example you gave that I borrowed the money, and then I said,
You didn't follow the SBA guidance.
And then I didn't follow it. I put that money into Robinhood.
Right.
That's one. Or I bought a house in Buffalo.
All not what you're supposed to be doing. You're trying to tell SBA, hey, listen, I really tried. I really tried.
But what if you were a Uber driver and you took a loan and you bought a car and you are using it for...
That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Explain that a little bit so that everybody understands.
Say I bought a medallion. Let's do that. I bought a medallion, right?
Yes,
I'm an Uber driver, bought a medallion. I thought I was going to, do really well with it. And guess what? We all know what's going on with medallion prices, right?
Yeah,
went from like 120 right back to, 80K right now.
Of course.
Right? So there are costs involved. You did the right thing. And look, it didn't work out. So, hey, listen, I decided not to leave the driving business. I don't drive Yellow. I don't drive Uber. I don't drive Lyft. I decided to get a job in, let's just say, a warehouse. Well, I'm not in the business anymore.
Of course.
Right? So, but I tried.
Right.
That's an example. That's something we can work with.
Okay. So
I followed the SBA. I tried. Not. I decided to try to do something I wasn't supposed to do.
Right.
Can I get?
So আপনারা যারা eidl লোন পেয়েছেন, আপনি লোনটি নিয়েছেন, আপনি উবার ড্রাইভার অথবা আপনি ট্যাক্সি ড্রাইভার। সো ইফ ইউর উবার ড্রাইভার, আপনি গাড়ি ছিল আপনার ভাঙাচোরা, আপনি আরেকটি নতুন গাড়ি নিয়েছেন, ব্যবসাটি করছেন, আপনার পক্ষে ফর ইউ ইটস পসিবল টু গেট দ্যাট compromise.
It's a compromise.
It's not a compromise. If you are a yellow cab driver, আপনি medallion কিনেছেন, it was 125,000, now it's 80,000. You're losing money, you lost money already. You will qualify. এরকম যারা লোন নিয়েছেন এবং আপনার ব্যবসায় দিয়েছেন, ব্যবসাটা হয়নি, মার গেছে টাকাটি, অর্থটি, যে লোনটি নিয়েছিলেন, আপনার জন্য সুসংবাদ অপেক্ষা করছে। You have to wait. And we will give you the update.
We'll definitely give you the update. Look, it's a direct negotiating with the SBA. It's not a form.
Okay. So
it's
that's
that
one
simple.
thing. Okay. Takes time. Time-consuming.
Very time.
Takes a lot of work. And
once we have the update, next time I come on, I will definitely let everyone know.
Okay, that's one thing. And we talked about briefly, I just want you to touch briefly that anybody who's going through hardship, they can knock down 10% of the payment up to, not knock down 10%, but they can reduce their payment up to 10%.
They are going to reduce their payment to 10%.
To 10%, not up to 10%.
Right, to 10%. Or
Explain that a little bit for.
So basically, say let's just make it easy, right? $1,000 payment because I took $200,000 from that.
Right.
And instead of making $1,000 payment for for an entire year, you're making $100 a month.
Right.
But the interest on that loan is still getting compounded.
Of course.
It's you're kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
You're not
and hoping for the best.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I encourage everyone to do it, because it's at 3.75%. Where are you ever going to find? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, instead of taking a 9% loan, I have a loan that is 3% interest rate. I'll push it down as much possible. দর্শক আপনারা যারা দেখছেন, 9% লোন রাইট নাও আপনি SBA থেকে নিলেন, কিন্তু আপনি লোনটি নিয়েছিলেন যখন 3%, 3.75%, এই লোনটি আপনার লং টার্ম থাকলে কিছু যায় আসে না। যতদূর পুশ করতে পারেন ততদিন। আপনি যদি 1 লাখ টাকা লোন থাকেন, মেক বিলিভ আপনি $500 পে করছেন, এটি আপনি $50 $100 নামে আনতে পারেন, সম্ভব এখন। What is it called, the program? It's hardship program? What is it?
It's hardship.
Hardship program.
Hardship accommodation.
So, I just wanted to run this again.
Correct, but I wanted to know, because I've also, a lot of people come to my office asking, is the interest part being forgiven?
No. Interest is not. You're just pushing it.
You're just pushing it down the road, and if you're using it to pay off, say, credit cards that are, say, 20% interest rates, you're doing the right thing.
Okay.
I encourage that.
All right. So now to our favorite part. Okay. Rate changes. We know the interest rate went down 50 basis points.
That's correct.
Everybody was hoping and praying for it. It finally happened. And market was happy about it. Mortgage rate went down. There are many questions that are unanswered. The one question, rate went down. Should I buy a house now if I am a prospective buyer? If I'm a refinancing, should I wait or do it now? Also, people are hearing that rates are going down maybe even further, and something has changed today, later, that you just told me a few minutes ago. So let's address those two parts. The rate changes, prospective buyers, refinancers.
Okay, so and they're all going to be different scenarios, basically.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so yes, the rates go down, absolutely. It was really great for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, not just for you guys buying a house, refinancing, but also for the economy itself. And that's actually why I mentioned this.
Yes.
Okay? So if I'm a buyer right now, right, is it time to buy a house? Sure. Should I wait that maybe the rate may go down a little bit more?
Yeah.
You can't time the market. If you could,
that's what I say.
You'd be a billionaire.
You can't time the market.
You'd be a billionaire.
And don't do it. Don't time
Don't even
market.
try to time it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you need to buy a house, buy it now and start looking. Refinancers, this is where I'm going to say do not do it yet. Because we do know next year the rates are going to be lower than what they are today.
Right, next
Because
year.
look, you already bought your house, so you don't care what the real estate market does.
Yeah.
Right? You just care about
you
your
are a
payment.
property
You're
owner.
payment sensitive.
Right.
You're nothing else.
You're right.
Right? So why would you refinance now? Just to refinance again next year, the only people making money are the banks.
As we heard Jerome Powell, the Fed's chairman, he was saying 2 more rate cuts this year, potentially, tentatively. There is more coming next year. The entire year, they're projecting 1%, 100% basis point. He went farther than that. He said, rate cut will continue in 2026 too, right? So the people are already thinking, so refinancer, you already answered. You need to wait.
You need to wait.
Till next
You can
year.
try to time the best of the market on a refi.
Prospective buyers,
Because
you
even if
already
you're
said.
off by a little bit, it's not going to hurt you that much.
Right. I want you to tell me a little bit about these things. When people refinancing, what they should be preparing for, what are the requirements, and how does the rate actually come down if you're well prepared?
So look, it's just like when you would have bought a house. You had to have all your docs in order, right? Tax returns, once again, my friends, okay? The bank statements, if we went that route. Whichever we did and how we did it, we're going to be doing it again. So you've got to be very, very prepared.
As if you're buying a
But
new
now I'm
house.
going to bring one other thing up.
Okay.
Because I've been seeing and I've been really breaching this subject.
And you're fuming.
Very much. So one thing you got to look at is if you're buying a house now you're doing a mortgage. We're finally seeing the 4% in play.
4%?
Yeah,
in play down the road?
No, now.
Now?
We're seeing it. We never saw it before. We said, get the lowest rate I can get you is, say, a 5, right? But now I'm seeing like the 4.6 is actually on the screen.
4.6.
Right? Why would you pay twice to do a refi when you could do it right now for 30 years?
Yeah.
This is where I'll tell you it pays to buy points if you know you're going to refinance here. Why would you pay twice?
What would be your timeline, so to speak?
My timeline is this. If I'm buying a house now and say they cost me an additional just $10,000, but I'm getting like a 4.5, 4.6, that's worth doing. Today.
So if I were a
Because
prospective
you know
home buyer,
next year you're going to have to refinance, right? Because say you're at a 5.5 today. You know if the States goes to a 4.5,
Correct.
you know you're going to have to refinance.
Right.
Well, guess what? It's going to cost more than $10,000 to do that.
Of course. So if I was a
So I do it now.
If I was buying a house tomorrow, you would suggest me to do it, and if my paperwork is in
I'll give you guys a good example. Everybody a good example.
Give me an example. And
my tax file is super high this year because, hey, I need to buy this house.
Of course.
Right? I'm paying government quite a bit of money, right?
Yeah.
Right? Why wouldn't I just pay? If I'm already paying, I might as well pay a little bit more instead of having to do it twice.
In terms of the total cost of the house you meant.
Yeah, so basically my tax file, now say my taxes this year are $20,000, right? They're usually not zero, right?
Yeah.
Well, if I have to do it again next year, now I'm
Then you
paying
have to readjust.
$40,000.
Yes.
But I'm offering you that for $10,000.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I do that?
Right. And your interest rate would be somewhere in the ballpark?
The high fours, yes.
High fours. Let's say 4.8, 4.9,
correct.
under 5.
Oh, way under 5.
Way under 5. I need to break this down. I need to break this down. Okay, so আপনারা যারা প্রসপেক্টিভ হোম বায়ার আছেন, আমি জানি আমার সাথে অনেকে যোগাযোগ করেছেন, নাম বলবো না, অনেকে যোগাযোগ করেছেন। আপনার পেপার ওয়ার্ক যদি ঠিক থাকে, আপনি যদি প্রস্তুত থাকেন, মাইকেল মোতাজিদি যেটি বলছেন যে আপনার পক্ষে under 5% কমে পাওয়া উচিত মর্টগেজ রেট, অ্যান্ড দিস ইজ এই কারণে আমরা এই প্রোগ্রামটি করে থাকি। দিস ইজ দ্য রিজন আই ডু দিস প্রোগ্রাম, স্পেশালি উইথ ভেরি এক্সপিরিয়েন্স সিপিএস স্পেশালি। ওকে, সো মাইকেল মোতাজিদি বলছেন আপনার পেপার ওয়ার্ক যদি ঠিক মতো থাকে, আপনার ইনকাম লেভেল যদি থাকে, ইয়োর ট্যাক্স ফাইলিং ইজ রাইট, আপনি 4.8, 4.9 এই ব্যাড মার্কেটেও ইউ ক্যান গেট দ্যাট ইন্টারেস্ট রেট, 4.8, 4.9।
Of course.
Yeah, so that brings me to the other question. Actually, you're leading me to the other question. Inflation. Talk about this, the housing inflation part of it.
Well, look. Housing is basically almost inflation-proof, basically.
Yeah, in a way.
It goes up, your house goes up, right?
Yeah.
All that stuff happens right now. But the reason being with why I keep pushing you guys, not like I usually say, hey, never buy points, ever. But in this situation, I do because, hey, listen, I'm a CPA. I know what the taxes look like. I know how much you guys are paying.
Yeah.
There's no point in paying 4 times the amount, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
So that's why I've been pushing you guys about that. I've already done this with one of my clients. Was just locked their loan in the force.
Yeah. The reason Michael is saying this way, and I'm laughing, because we do talk about these things. আমরা এই কথাগুলো বলে থাকি, and we know, আমরা জানি, আপনারাও জানেন, you know too, that আপনাদেরকে নিয়ে অনেক গেম খেলা হচ্ছে, অনেক রিয়েল এস্টেট ব্রোকার আছেন, অনেক লোন অফিসার আছেন। ইন দিস কমিউনিটি, ইন বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি, আই এম রিয়েলি ফ্রাস্ট্রেটেড, কারণ আপনারা অনেকে ভয় পান কাগজপত্র ঠিক না করার জন্য, অথবা তাদেরকে বলেন যে আমার ট্যাক্স ডকুমেন্টে ঠিক নেই, এর সুযোগ নিয়ে আপনারা ঠকেন। এই প্রসঙ্গটি আসবে। I'm going to talk about these things a little later. Okay, so that part is inflation.
Correct. Yes. And with inflation, it's not even that. You got to look at also, everyone's saying, okay, what's going to happen with housing prices?
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling you guys to do it now. If you're looking for a house, do it now.
Yeah, it's going to go only up.
We don't know where it's going to go. We just don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, hey, a year ago it was going to come down a little bit.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm telling you, hey, listen, the rates are down. Basically, it's flatlining right now.
Correct.
Take advantage of it. Lower your payment, and do what you got to do with that.
So you are suggesting this is a good time to buy a house. You take the lower interest rate, take the lower payment, and just go for it.
Just go for it. You're ready. You wanted to buy this house.
I was saying the same thing today. I hosted the Views program. I was saying, if you're ready, and if you think you're going to live in this house and it's going to be your primary residence, do it.
Right. Look, most people move every 7 years, but we know with our community that's not what happens. They stay forever.
Correct.
So take advantage of it and know where you're going to go.
It's not true for us.
Well, how last time yourself?
Okay, that brings me to another question. We talked about this many times, but really did not break it down for our audiences. Choose your mortgage broker wisely.
Yes.
Why and how to choose one. This why should be short, because you are deceived and you are paying more than what you should be, and you're paying in a lot of ways, money, percentage-wise, a lot of ways, right?
Yeah, I'll give you guys multiple examples.
Okay.
I'll give you examples just from this week. It's the same example twice.
Sure.
Person comes into my office, they're just showing me their documents. I said, why are they at 6.375? I have the same bank, right? I locked theirs at 5.5. I saved the person $12,000.
Okay. I'm going to stop you there because you need to continue there.
Okay.
মাইকেল মোতাজিদি এখন যেটি বললেন, তার কাছে একজন এসেছে, রিয়েল এক্সাম্পল, তার অফিসে একজন আসলেন, সেম ব্যাংকে, যে ব্যাংকে থেকে তারা লোনটি অ্যাপ্লাই করেছেন, তাদের রেট দেওয়া হয়েছে 6. What was it?
It was like 6.3.
6.3. মাইকেল মোতাজিদি বলছেন, আমি জানি না এই ব্যাংকে আমি আপনার জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করলে এটা এখন 5.5 এ পাবেন, আমি জানি না আপনাকে কেন 6.3 দেওয়া হলো। Why was it? What
It's
was
simple.
The case?
It's real simple. The mortgage broker wanted to make more money.
Okay,
so it costed this person almost, in reality, $300,000 on the life of the loan, right?
Yes.
Just because somebody wanted to make an extra a few $1,000s.
Right.
That's how sad it is.
So the mortgage broker wanted to make a few $1,000s more, and it will end up costing the buyer more than $300,000 over the period of the loan.
Correct.
Which is 30-year fixed.
Correct. So
So
the
that's
broker
the
was saying, hey, listen, you could pay $12,000. I'll give you the 5.5.
Right.
Right. Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right. Or you could take the 6.3, which doesn't make sense either way.
Right.
So I literally went to the same bank, relocked the loan, and now the person's a 5.5.
Wonderful.
And I did twice this
So
week.
that's why choosing the right mortgage broker is important. Do you think
This is all about greed.
it's about? We know that, but what are the options for a person to double check? Because sometimes I hear from the people who buy house that I was about to go to a second person, but my mortgage broker told me if you go there, you come back to me, and or maybe you go to him, it's going to be even higher rate. I am giving you the best person. So how do you protect against this kind of thing?
I hear it all the time.
Yes,
Look,
of
you got
course.
a couple problems going on. One problem is it's your real estate broker that's guiding you the wrong way. And saying, oh, use my friend, he's really good. No, because something else is going on.
Of course.
Right?
He's a good friend for money.
Right. But that's one. The other one is, how do you know that you're getting the greatest rate and everything? It's all in this closing cost, right? And you should be at least shopping in 3 places and say, hey, listen, just send me an estimate. How many points am I paying? If I'm paying no points, which I suggest, that's how you do it. Apples for apples.
Apples for apples. Okay.
That's what it is.
If you're wondering, should I get my COVID shot? Think about other people. Set a date to get your COVID shot and RSV if eligible. Learn more at nj.gov/health/vaccines.
নিউ ইয়র্ক থেকে সম্প্রচারিত TVN 24 টেলিভিশন বিশ্বজুড়ে বাঙালির কণ্ঠস্বর।